a blessing to be with you today on this Wednesday. I trust your week is going well. What a privilege to serve the Lord in these days that we live. And we're so thankful for the Word of God. Last weekend we had a men's retreat here where the Word of God was the main emphasis. How that our minds ought to be absolutely changed by divine revelation. And that's what we're doing really on this word of encouragement, is just to give a biblical thought that can change the approach that we have to life, that takes us from being overwhelmed or discouraged to being lifted up and having the hope that we should have in the Lord. The book of Proverbs gives us many principles that are life-changing. There are many things that we can learn from. Can't help but think of Proverbs 22:6 for parents. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. A great truth, and so many. But I'd like to look at chapter 21, the last verse there. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but safety is of the Lord. There is fear coming into many believers. I hear a lot of talk. I read many things that are out, and many of them are very accurate. I hear radio programs or podcasts that talk about all that's happening in our government and in the encroachment of evil forces within our culture, and so much of it is true. But unfortunately, many Christians are going out the wrong window on how they're responding. Now, you can't help but be fearful. I mean, the thought that maybe you can't buy what you need to buy, or that food will get out of range to be able to get what you need, or medical help is going to become more impossible for regular people to have it. All those things are very much a reality in the days ahead, or a possibility, I should say, and or that we could have a definite encroachment on our land of enemy forces. These kind of things just bring real terror to many people's hearts. But we need to realize that you can have all of the defenses in this day. The horse is prepared for the day of battle. In other words, the horse and the armament that was in ancient battle was very important to be able to stem off any kind of attack. And of course, for an individual person, even having the ability to move quickly allows them to escape, or to be able to have the mobility to have great advantage against the enemy. But all of that is useless without the protection of the Lord. And so we need to realize that though there are human things that we need to do, we need to be wise, we need to be good stewards, safety is of the Lord. My friends, Christians throughout the ages have gone through many difficult things. Christians right now, our brothers and sisters around the world, many of them are under pressures that we cannot understand. And yet, if they were to give their testimony, they would tell you safety is of the Lord, that they can trust the Lord. They could give you wonderful testimonies of how God has protected them. And if God has allowed things to happen, all of it has been for the furtherance of the gospel. I remember a young couple that was in a prison in Ukraine for several years. I think it was 3 years, just simply because they were youth leaders at their church. They were just joyful. They had just gotten out of prison. I was in their home. They were so gracious, and they just glowed with the testimony of how God had used them in the prison. They would never have had that opportunity, and I was just amazed at their heart. And so whatever happens to us, we can know that God will take care of us. And so I like this simple verse. The horse is prepared against the day of battle. Yes, there are human things that can help us to manage attack. But we've got something far greater. The God that rules from the heavens is our God. He has given us great and mighty promises. And so therefore, safety is of the Lord.